Hey everybody, welcome to Sound Pure. My name's Paul, and this quick gear tip is going to be all about bass drum pedal cams and how the different shapes can affect the responsiveness and feel of your bass drum pedal. For those of you not quite familiar with that terminology, the cam is this piece of metal right here that serves to transfer energy from the footboard through the chain or strap into the bass drum beater that causes it to fly forward towards your bass drum. I should note that you're not going to find cams on direct drive pedals because it's a direct linkage. There's no need for this piece of metal to actually transfer energy, but you will find them on every other type of pedal, whether it's a chain drive or a strap drive. And there's actually two different shapes and styles of bass drum beater cams that you can get on most bass drum pedals. And those are going to be rounded over bass drum cams. You can also get an offset or nautilus shaped cam like this one here. And both of these are going to have different feelings and different levels of responsiveness under your foot. So a rounded over cam like this one here is going to have a consistent and fluid feeling all the way through the arc of the bass drum beater and all the way through the pedal stroke. Because there's no changes in the actual shape of the cam, it's going to give you a really consistent feeling. And these pedals are good for players who like consistent feelings under their foot, who maybe like to play with more dynamic on their bass drum and just want that same feeling all throughout the arc of their bass drum. Now you can contrast that with with an offset cam, which is going to give you a slightly more delayed feeling early on in the stroke. An offset cam is going to give you a little bit more resistance as you start out the bass drum stroke, but as you move through the motion, you actually pass an apex on the cam where the shape kind of rounds out a little bit, which results in the beater actually whipping forward towards the bass drum head. So that's going to give you a feeling of slightly more resistance early on in the stroke, but then more power later on because you have that extra force forcing the beater towards the drum. So these kind of offset cams are good for players that want that extra resistance and want that extra little bit of power as they play bass drum lines. Now, some players actually want, the ability to have both types of cams under their foot on a certain gig. You might be playing certain songs that require a little bit more dynamic playing. You might be playing certain songs that require just a little bit more power and punch in your attack. So some companies have actually developed cams that are adjustable, and the amount of adjustment can be pretty customizable and vary just depending on the model. For example, this DW9000 pedal actually has a sort of adjustable cam. Right now, it's pretty much completely rounded over, but with just a simple hex key, you can actually adjust the cam to have more of an offset shape if you want that little extra bit of resistance and power. So if you want to actually find out what these feel like and what the difference between a rounded over cam and an offset cam feels like as you play them, it's good to know that these pedals that you see here and most of the pedals that we do sell qualify for a try before you buy program. This is a program where you can try out a piece of gear in your own home, in your own practice space, on your own kit, so you can get used to the feeling of a pedal before you actually commit to it. So if you have any questions about the program or you want to learn more about the different cam shapes available on bass drum pedals, give us a call. One of our experts will pick up and we'll talk to you about drum beaters. Thanks again for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.